can see in the background here, I have a nice Advent calendar. Since today is the first day of Advent, I thought I'd go ahead and pop number one here. Let's see, do I need something sharp to get under that easily? You know what I mean? Hang on a second, I might have something handy. This, by the way, is the Wicked Advent calendar. So I am sharing with you on the channel. I feel like when I reinvest back into the channel, we all win. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's like there's a lot of glue. I don't want to just like completely rip it. Glenda and Fiero on the outside of this. Okay, and on the inside. Ooh, nice. Says here, I feel wicked. And it's a little magnet. How cool is that? I'm actually going to put that back in here for the time being. That was pretty neat. Nice. Nice. So if you have happen to have an advent calendar at home, you may want to get that started because 'tis the season. Saison. Did you guys use the seasonings? All right, I'm going to go ahead and use the Mind Info Oracle cards tonight. Okay. So you can see it right there if you need to zoom in later. So what is that? What did that say? I feel wicked. So let's see what these Mind Info Oracle cards have to say with regards to that. So if you're a Wicked fan or a Wizard of Oz fan, you might appreciate these next few readings that I'll be doing, because I will be doing one for each day of the Advent calendar, and there are 25 on this calendar. Okay, so and today is day 1. All right. So thank you for joining. Please do like the video, especially if you're in the chat today. Remember to be kind to others, especially in the chat. And you do not have to be a subscriber in order to like the video, okay? But if you are a subscriber, you will be notified, okay? Especially if you hit the notification bell, all right? But if you want to skip the notifications and just want to like the video just for hanging out today, please do so, okay? That spreads that good juju around and gets those messages to you. Resolution. All right. This says here, whatever it is that you've been struggling with is about to be resolved. Remember that resolutions don't always happen in the way we hope or want, but being able to move forward and start fresh always brings relief. Okay, yeah. So this is reminding me of the Temperance card. We're exiting Scorpio season, you know, the finality, right, of Scorpio season, you know, releasing that. And then, you know, it's like, okay, but what's then what? Because, you know, you still have to get up in the morning, right? What's the resolution? How do you move forward, right? So that is coming forth. Okay, so think about temperance, have some patience. Even if you do feel a little wicked about the situation, you're like, you know, sometimes it's like you got ants in your pants and it's like, oh, I just can't wait till this ends. Or especially we think that if certain things do happen, then it's going to release us from certain things, and that's not always the case, is it? Okay. Because, like it says here, remember that resolutions don't always happen in the way we hope or want, but being able to move forward is what's important. Okay. Comfort. Okay. What is that song? Tidings of comfort and joy, right? That we sing around the holidays. I'll read this to you. How can you bring more comfort into your life? You can increase your comfort through tangible things such as soft clothes and food, and intangible things such as thinking loving thoughts about yourself and inviting peace into your heart. So, yeah, maybe you have felt wicked in the past and it's like, you know what? Or maybe it's like wickedly good, you know? Don't they say that over in Fenway? Okay. This park is wicked awesome, right? And things like that. Uh, and maybe what brings you comfort is going and grabbing, whatever, a burger, a dog, a cheese, whatever it is that you like to get after the game or in the middle of the game, right? And then you say we had a wicked good time. That was a wicked hill, right? Sometimes being comfortable is about getting out of your comfort zone, right? Especially when we hit the winter months and it's like so easy to want to stay inside, and it's like we forget that being outside during that time can be invigorating, as well. You have to be careful, of course, right? But the and then that helps us appreciate these tangible things that we have, such as, like it says here, soft clothes and food, clothes that are keeping us warm, food that warms our bellies when we come back inside, right? Okay. Worth. Okay. You are being asked to honor your worth. It can be so easy to feel that we aren't good enough or worthy of happiness. This simply isn't the case. However, you are worthy and you have inherent value. It's time to cherish yourself and see your true worth. Okay. So this could be about letting go of judging yourself as well. It's one of those things where people are like, oh, I don't know how you can stand to like that, blah blah blah. I hate that, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, that that doesn't mean they hate you, but sometimes they go out of their way. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, are you trying to make me question my worth? So, during the season, especially when people, say like, oh, I want this, and if I don't get this Xbox such and such, then, I guess nobody cares about me, blah, blah, stuff like that. And it's like, well, if that's how you view all the people in your life, then maybe you need to take a little bit better view at how and why those folks are in your life. You know what I mean? Anyway, protect here, okay? So you might be asking for divine guidance, okay, for protection. Maybe being wicked gets you out of some situations, right? Sometimes, like they say, don't be too nice. Never go to the second location, right? Make sure you scream so they can't, so if somebody realizes what the fuck's going on, right? Okay, protect here. It says you're being asked to protect yourself and your energy. See, it's okay to want to give to others, which you do effortlessly. It's important, though, that you set healthy boundaries with your energy before doing so. Now's the time to get some protection in place. And it was so weird, too. Like recently, I think it was one of the red carpet wicked events. They had like an issue with somebody rushing the red carpet. Yeah, it says here to align with your situation. Pushing against things will only make it harder. Yeah. um yeah, the dog the other day I was having some issues with, and it was starting to become obvious. It's like, okay, I'm pushing against what this dog wants to do, and they're letting me know. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you got to let them spaz out for a little bit, you know what I mean? And then they'll be fine. So, especially when they're in a strange place, you know. Um, because that's just part of their nature, you know what I mean, to be curious and to want to, understand their space, you know. So, this protection thing, if you're kind of reassessing your boundaries in a way where people are like, oh, why are you spazzing out? Oh, why are you being, like, yeah, maybe it says like, I am wicked. Maybe you're putting the, you have a roommate and you're like, look, this is my side or this is my shelf. You know what I mean? In the refrigerator, you can have these two cabinets here, but you know what I mean? Like have some respect, right? Um, there's nothing wrong with having those boundaries, right? Other people don't want you to have those boundaries, and then they will call you wicked because then they'll be like, well, you're not cooperating, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll put the resolution on you, right? Like it's all up to you. And it's like, wait a second. So I think what this saying is saying, part of this is that, since you're saying your worth here, that you're gonna be okay taking yourself out of a situation in order to reach resolution, and that's going to be the comfort level that you're seeking, right? And that's you protecting your peace, right? So, and then maybe you'll snuggle up with your copy of the book or the movie or whatever. And that's what you'll be doing, instead of worrying about people trying to drag you into a story where you kind of already know what the ending of that's going to be, right? So it's like, you know, not everybody's into that. I guess I do have some time here. I'll go ahead and get the spirit animal cards as well. So hold tight and I will pull a few more. All right. Now we have zebra here. Okay. So the resolution may be as clear as the stripes on a zebra. Like I was saying before, like putting that line down the room and saying, okay, here's the property line, here's the boundary line. Like what else do you want? So I feel like the clarity that you're seeking on that is gonna happen. Because I know on the card here it said it might not look like what you or happen exactly the way, but it's going to be very clear. Okay. Yeah. Here. Okay. And another one, tiger with the stripes. Okay. So, you might be worried about your comfort being disrupted, but I feel like you have so much strength in this situation, like a tiger, that it's kind of, um, the fact that you're not upset like somebody thinks you're supposed to be is, you know that's why people are seeing you in this tiger energy, because they're like, whoa, they're tough, and I wouldn't get close to a tiger like that, you know what I mean, that type of thing. Crow. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, somebody could be eating crow a little bit, especially if they realize that you realize your worth. You know what I mean? And you're not going to settle for whatever crap, or crumbs they throw at your feet and say, there you go, get busy. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm like, what's that supposed to be? Anyway. Nightingale. Okay, yeah, this came out the last time I used this deck. So listen to the songs. That's gonna give you guidance of this protection as well. Okay. Um, And, don't let this buffalo here is giving me like, don't let anybody else bully you in the situation, especially if you're just not feeling it. You have every right to get up and leave. Like I said, protecting your space, right? Um, and it could just be like, look, it's just not working for me right now. I'll be, have to reschedule with you later, and they don't like that. Well, then maybe, they weren't going to be working with you anyway. Um, so, again, crows are very smart as well. Okay. I know that's, there's the phrase eating crow, but, crows are very smart animals. So, again, knowing your worth in a situation, and a crow can be very, say, unassuming. Okay, so again, then we had the tiger and the zebra. Okay, I think 16:16 on the clock. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it, since some of the songs of the nocturnal animals are triggering the other animals. Okay. Anyway, that's one thing about winter is like you can hear some of that like really clear through the night. So, even though the snow like dampens the sound and everything, um, it's like you hear the echoes in a different way. All right. And I think we do have the cold full moon coming up in a couple days. So, like I said, I'll be doing one of these every day of the Advent calendar as we continue through the holiday. Until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye bye.